December 15th, 1989 is the busiest release day for the Famicom so far. There were 9 games released that day, and unfortunately 2 of them are baseball. And if that wasn't bad enough, the next day with Famicom releases has 4 sports games released on it. What I'm saying is, get ready for a lot of baseball across the next 2 weeks of Famidaily. And since I try to space out similar games, I'm starting off with Gekitou Stadium, the second and final game in Tecmo's Gekitou sports series. Now I'd love to tell you that this is a special baseball game, one that really shows off that Tecmo technical flair, and brings something new and different to baseball on the Famicom. But they literally just made Family Stadium again. The pitching works the same way, where you press a direction to control the speed and curve. The batting works the same way, where you can freely move around the batting box and have to hold down A to fully swing. The fielding's the same, where you press in a direction and press A to throw there, or press B to run to that base. And when you're rounding the bases, you press a direction and hit B to run to that base, or hit A to run back to the base that you were at. Now this isn't completely dire. It's better than the last few Famista games at least. There's a better graphical presentation, for example. You've got these scenes where there's a close throw to a base, and there's multiple scenes for when a home run is hit. You can hit the A button while fielding to do a dive for the ball, and your fielders have defensive stats. They can drop the ball sometimes, and it affects how they move. Of course, the ball seems magnetically attracted to the AI fielders. Gekitou Stadium is one of those games where the computer fields perfectly all the time, while a human player has to control their fielders off-screen, and so wind up missing a lot of pop flies. And then there's the entire second hidden league. Hold down left on controller 1, and up left on controller 2, then press reset. When you do that, you get a whole new set of teams that are comprised entirely of women. I wound up using a team that was all named after foreign actresses. There's also an all-star mode from the main menu, where you can play with teams comprised of all the best players in the leagues. The goal of the game is to beat every other team in the league once, which is just like Family Stadium. If you're wondering why the umpires are rabbits, that's because Tecmo's mascot is a cartoon rabbit. He hasn't really made any appearances in video games up to this point, though. Gekitou Stadium isn't a bad game by any stretch. It's got a lot more technical polish than most baseball games we've seen on the Famicom. The problem is, this is the exact same baseball game that we have seen from virtually every publisher on the Famicom. Even if Tecmo has made the best copy of Family Stadium out there, at this point in 1989, there were around a dozen identical games on the shelves. It's impossible to work up any enthusiasm for it.